Hello everyone, my name is SiC. Welcome back to Humankind. So today we are going to continue playing through our early game, the Ancient Era. We need to start working on getting some era stars, because that is what will allow us to move on towards the next era, essentially. Now, to get some era stars, we need to, or we can do several things. However, some things are worth more fame to us than others. So we are a scientific culture, and because of that, doing things that relate to science benefit us more. So we have the scientist stars here. Now, if we obtain 6 technologies, and currently we have 5, we will earn a scientist star, and a scientist star is worth 126 fame. Right now we have 40, so that would be a good increase, because we are number 6. So definitely in 2 turns we will get 126 fame, and that will catch us up with the other people a bit more. Look at the number 1 though, 300 fame. And that one is probably someone who founded a city later and did all 3 of the era stars in the nomadic tribe stage. I'm not sure about that, but that's what I'm assuming. Now on top of that we could also do expansions, so we would need to control 5 territories. Right now we control 2, and we are making another 3rd city, so we would be up to 3. We have Astete stars, I guess, or however you would pronounce that. Reach a total of 300 influence. Right now we have 102, and that would unlock another star. Builder stars have 6 districts built within your empire. Currently we have 2. Militarist stars destroy a total of 6 military units. That would include the animals that we can hunt, I guess. Agrarian stars have 10 population and or units within your empire, current value 9. So pretty soon we will have this star as well, and we can get 3 stars for each, as you can see. And then finally we have merchant stars, earn 600 money, current value 44. I don't think we're going to get that one anytime soon, because we're only making $4 per turn. That is not a lot. Alright, so we don't have an administrator, but maybe that one is already assigned automatically to here. Or maybe it's not. We will have to keep an eye on that. Anyway, let's end the turn and move on. So we are making the lumberyard in Sippar. We have the artisan's quarter here in Babylon. This is being turned into a city. Now where is our... There is our army. We also need to start doing some things with that. So controlling territory is also important, and we have more horses over here. We could use that to dominate the area around us. So maybe we want to control this territory. That also makes it harder for other tribes to get to these areas, but I don't know which ones are the most valuable to us right now. Let us turn on that's a hexagonal grid. We want to have the flimsy output. So we have a lot of food in this terrain. Not a lot of production. We have a bit of science from the Stonefield crater here. Plenty of production here, and food as well. This is actually kind of a nice province. And this all belongs to the same part, but this is just kind of like... Yeah, so we could control this, and let's see where we would put ourselves. Because we want to have a lot of food, of course, but also decent production. So 17 food, 5 production, 6 production there. 4, 9. So the food is low on this side, except this is kind of good. 11 and 6. 14 and 6. This would be a much better location, however, because we would also get the science and a bit more food. I think we are going to go for that one. 14, 17 or in 5 production. I think the 14 food is enough. We can expand on that pretty easily. And then the 3 science and the 6 production. That would be very nice to have. I don't see any special resources here except for the horses, but the horses will be nice. We can help, or that can help us dominate the area, I think. Get lots of cavalry. Right, irrigation is research. With that we should now get an era star. We can now do flood irrigation as well as public fountains. And we have 164 fame now. The other guy also went up quite a bit. Alright. Anyway, more research. We can do horsemanship. I don't know if we actually need horses. Resource prerequisites, horses, yes. Okay, so we do need the horsemanship thing to help us out with that. We have an army that needs to complete its movements, and automatically he now creates the outpost. This really is a beautiful game though. I guess on the next turn from here we will attack the mammoth if he's still within range. Get us some more money. What is this? Era star unlocked. Yes, very nice. And the scientist one, we need one more, I guess. Or that's the one we did get. Obtain 11 technologies and we would get 220 fame. So that would be very nice. We need to start working on the research. Prioritize research wherever we can get it. So we have an outpost that is finished now. We get a population there. We get the +3 science because we established ourselves here. We get an era star, I guess because we grew a bit more. So that's good. And now, create your religion. Pick the base of your people's beliefs. So we can go for polytheism. Gives us +10 faith, +5 influence on holy sites, and +5 faith on holy sites. So that would be +15 faith overall as a resource. We could go for shamanism. Gives us +10 faith and +10 influence on holy sites. So this would give us more influence. And I don't know if I really want to go all in on religion. I don't know exactly how the religion in this game even works, but I think shamanism, I like shamanism as well, more than organized religions, and this seems more organized. So this is more like people being in tune with nature, and we are focusing on science, so maybe we can make this kind of work as like a people that focus really on their connection to nature, and through that they find their scientific inventions as well. That's not how the game is going to interpret it, of course, but that's fine. Horsemanship researched. All right, next research. What can we do? Fishing. Fishing would be nice. Would allow us to build a harbor and a fishery as well. +3 food on a harbor, +1 food on a river. Now we have the river here, a river there. This would really help us here, actually. So we don't just fish on the sea, we fish on the rivers as well. Now, Babylon here is not connected to the river, but I guess all of this would still improve by quite a bit. So even if we're not directly on it, as long as our tiles exploit the rivers, that will benefit us quite a lot. So maybe, yeah, let's go for that one. More food is always good. We have an idle army, and that one is going to go ahead and attack. This is the army. Right, we will confirm the battle, and we will auto-resolve this, because this will not be very challenging. The battle has ended, the outcome is already visible, but if you want to learn more details, you can select the panel with... with the left mouse click. We're not going to do that, we just want to have the money, and we know that we won. That was going to be very obvious. And let's see, urgent affairs require your attention. The first calendar. The invention of the calendar heralded a glorious day in the Empire's history. Now with 2 major cities and numerous farming affairs needing to be harmonized across the land, it is time to standardize this calendar. Traders must have an easy means of synchronizing their activities. By what means do you wish to track the days? Solar or lunar? So solar, the learned assure you that this calendar will better stand the passing of the seasons. Or lunar, the waxing and waning of the moon is something familiar and comforting to the people. Now this one would benefit the social axis, this one would benefit, the social axis towards progress, and this one to tradition. Now we are a scientific community. I'm assuming that progress would help us more. So we're going to go with solar. Alright, and this tribe really needs to grow. How many more turns? 5 turns. Yeah, we need more food in all the cities, so they grow faster. These guys, 1 more turn and they will be a city. We could wait for that or just buy out the last bit of construction. And then we could start making something else. I think we're going to do that. It's a very small amount of money, but it's going to save us a turn. Look at that. Little building built up, and then we could build a copper mine. Gives us +1 industry per adjacent maker's quarter. Well, we don't have a maker's quarter yet, but we could make one over here, I guess, and then we would have a copper mine there, and that would really boost our production. It would take 4 turns, so we could, yeah, and this one actually, yeah, gives us +7 production. And if we do the copper mine now, well, this gives us access to the copper, I guess. So maker's quarter first will help with everything else. Now, one thing we do need to keep in mind, of course, is the stability. Building these extra districts is going to cost us -5 stability. And that is per city, I think. Babylon, or this is Kiss. In Kiss we have 55%, Babylon 55%, and Sipar 61%. Yeah, so it is individual. It's an important difference to keep in mind. Alright, so the Artisan's Quarter will be done at the end of this turn. Threat of starvation. Your city will lose population. Oh, that is not good. An attitude changed. The Empire 3 now feels differently about you. I don't know if this is Empire... I'm assuming this is Empire 3, this is Empire 2. And there's a question here. They have a treaty.
That should please us both.
He wants to have a non-aggression pact. Yeah, that seems to work well for me, because he has a lot of production and food, so he should be able to build a big army. On top of that, he's cruel, a militarist, and impulsive. And he's a rusher, so they attack others on sight. So, non-aggression pact definitely...
Most glorious! Yes!
Let us have wine and song.
Yeah, seems good for us. Let's go ahead and take that. Now we have an idle army, they can move. Now where do we want them to move? So we have this other district here. We could try and forward settle, because I don't think... Ooh, hold on. There is another civilization over here. Alright, so what do we do here? We could settle this land. Or try and discover what is over here. This one is already taken by them. I don't see any particular good resources here. We could get some decent productions out of the mountains. Plenty of food. We could settle on the river here and then expand towards the mountains for extra production. Interesting. Right, so this is an outpost and we don't have the administrator, so we might want to just keep this as an outpost. Now, do we go towards these mountains here? This could give quite a bit of production. However, there's not a lot of food here, so this would have to be a settlement on the coast, I guess. Or that would benefit us the most. Because there's no food here. That's not very good. So maybe we can move here. Or go here. Yeah, good question. So maybe, yeah, we need to focus on resources. So this stretches for quite a bit, doesn't it? Yeah. Anyway, let's go and try and explore this area, see if there's any beneficial resources in this province down here. And if not, then we can always settle here to keep our territory closer together, so it's easily reinforced. Now, an idle city, we have Babylon. We got saffron. So here is the benefit of saffron. We got +5 stability on all cities and +1 food on district producing food. That is nice, because we have the farmer's quarter here. So that would produce 1 extra food. That is very good. Alright, so how much food are we making right now? 37, that is quite a bit. So I don't think we need to focus on that anymore. We're going to get another population in 2 turns. We've got 2 population working in industry, so that is boosted a bit more. That is all quite nice. Now let's have a look. A forge cannot be done without the following technology: craftsmanship. It requires copper. I see. So we need to finish the maker's quarter over here, and then we can have a copper mine, and then we should be able to build this in this city, and they will trade internally, I guess. Not sure about that. Anyway, let's have a look. Industry. +2 industry on forest and woodlands. We don't have a lot of that, actually. We have a prairie. dry grass, dry grass, dry grass. We have some woodlands over here, but we're not exploiting these tiles yet. Stability seems good because we could have gone for a public fountain and that gives us plus 15 stability. Might still help us, but I'm not too sure about that. We could go for palisades, animal barns, granary, flood irrigation, plus 2 food on the river, that's also quite nice. Or we could just go for a maker's quarter and see if we can expand this somewhere. So if we build this, oh, interesting, we can expand from here as well, not just from the city. And that will give us plus 6 production. That is quite nice, and it will take us 4 turns. I say we go for that. And boost our production a bit. Because we have 18, it doesn't seem like a lot at this point. We need a bit more. Alright, so that is done. These guys need 2 more turns. 9 more turns on Sipar. They're still not growing very fast. We need 4 more turns for another population. And we might put them in food production as well, because it just seems like a good way to do things. As for religion, this territory is dominated by animism, with a 33% religious belief over it. And these guys, polytheism. Interesting. So we're going to have some religious disputes here on the border. Now, as for society, let's have a look. We already know about the stability. We are going towards progress, which is nice. Plus 1 influence on territory, plus 15% science on city or outpost. So the outposts also help us quite a bit already. Now, we don't have civic points available, so we need to wait 11 more turns for that. And next turn, we will finish fishing. So let's go ahead, end the turn here. Finish off fishing. And let's see how our army is doing, because they reached their turn, or the place I wanted them to go. More science. Some science over here as well. That's quite nice. Now we also have science on the horses, by the way, so we might want to build something to extract the horses here. A horse ranch, yeah. Actually, because this is something we need to remember. The outposts can actually build these extractors as well, even if they're not a city. So we need to build a horse ranch. That gives us some food, some science, as well as whatever the horse ranch provides us. It will provide us with the horses at the very least. Yeah, we need to explore this terrain a bit better. So maybe we could... Oh, we have to go through here? Why not through here? It seems like we should be able to go up there as well, but apparently we cannot. Or we could go up here, because this would be a good spot to see what's down here. Now, as for science, we could go for pottery, I guess, or masonry. Pottery workshop, plus 2 influence on main plaza. Stoneworks, plus 1 industry on mountain, stone field, rocky fields. Yeah, masonry, it's cheap, and it will benefit our production, and we need the production. We still really need to boost the production. Ooh, that's very quick, actually. And we've got the population in Babylon. Nice. Alright, so we are now at 4 people. One of them is now making money. Now, instead of making money, because we could buy out some of these things. We are producing the next quarter, 17 turns per turn. So yeah, actually this might help us with producing some of these things a bit quicker. We could buy this out, saves us a turn, and then we will make the copper mine. And we also have, what is that? Obsidian. On all cities, plus 2% industry per obsidian, plus 5 stability. Interesting. Copper mine, or an artisan quarter. So the artisan quarter would go on top of that. Gives us some production and food as well. Or gold, I mean, not food. A harbor. Wow, oh, we go all the way over there. We could even have a harbor on this territory. Alternatively, of course, well, first the copper seems a bit more important. But it only gives us plus 1 production. And it's 4 turns, it's 3 turns for the... Oh, actually, no, it's 3 turns for the copper mine, 4 turns for the artisan's quarter. But you know what? It seems like a good thing because it's also going to benefit our other cities. So maybe let's go for the obsidian first. It will give us a line of sight into the other territory as well. Now, can we buy out this? 96. We could buy this out on the next turn. Or we could sacrifice population to do it, but that seems like a terrible idea. It's not the kind of person I want to be. Let's see, +1 science per researchers. If we do writing, if we build a house of scribes, we can build a food market. +1 money on market quarters per adjacent farmer's quarter. So there's the interaction here as well, similarly to Civilization 6, which is super cool. That's something I definitely like a lot. Now, if you go for the wheel, we could have roads. Automatically creates roads between cities and outposts of your empire. These roads set the movement cost of the terrain to 1. So this would be very good for our army to travel, and we are stretching out quite a bit. So maybe actually we will go for roads first, so we can deploy quickly. And then these guys, ooh, there's a territory being claimed here as well by the Mycenaeans, it seems. Now we have some good production and food here. We have some science here. We could settle on this river. Or we could settle on this area. So we need to just explore this area a little bit better. Or we could... Well, no. Because I've been playing this for myself in a separate campaign a little bit, and at some point, if another tribe settles next to you, and we already saw this when the Mycenaeans did this, you can dispute that, or you can be angry about that. And when you do that early enough, they will actually... or you will actually be able to demand this territory from them. They will hate you for it, but they will give you the territory just to keep you happy. If they are threatened enough by you, I assume. So otherwise they wouldn't do that. But yeah, that seems beneficial for sure. Alright, idle army, he can move one more turn. And this territory, I think we've explored enough. We need to know a bit more about what's going on here. So let's move him over in this direction. We could try to settle this terrain or this one. Might take us a bit too long to move towards here. And we really need to find a way to get more administrators. Technologies or civics, yeah, we need that, really, we do. So we can build up some more cities. We could build this up into a city, but the downside is it will not be as productive. So we might as well just keep it as an outpost, I guess. But I'm not entirely sure. Now what do we have here? We have Mycenaeans, scouts. Now, we could also split up our army here and go in two separate directions. I'm not super aggressive with anyone, we might want to do that. How do we do that? There is a way. Transfer. We will split this army up into two groups. These guys can move up here. Some more science over here. Oh, this is nice. Now let's see. Territory, 8 food, 9 production, 3 science. Sorry about that. 14, 4 and 3. 15, 5 and 3. Oh, 11, 6 and 3. 16, 4 and 3. This seems like a pretty decent spot. We could expand pretty easily. We would, well, or this one, a bit more production. And we would be fine with the food that we're getting. I guess, yeah, let's go ahead and move them there. And then these guys, they use up all their actions, but they are going to go and explore in that direction. Alright. End the turn here. Sipar has finally got some extra population. That is good. Alright, so now we could buy out this. Speed that up a little bit. We have 1 on industry, 1 on food. What do we want to build next? We could try to... we could build a horse ranch. This is +1 food, some science. The science is nice, so we're going to go for that. And it should be only 3 turns, so that should be pretty fast. And I don't know what the horses give us. They might give us something, a global benefit as well. But I'm not sure. Anyway, the packing of poultry. The art of divination spreads across the empire. Priests search for messages from the gods in animal entrails, the flights of birds, the wheeling of the stars in holy decoctions and elsewhere. Now, however, the practices have become so commonplace, so bizarre, that the whole empire is sliding towards chaotic superstition. Even the eating patterns of chickens are being interpreted by military commanders. What to do? Alright, so we could embrace this, and that would cause celebrating, +10 stability for 10 turns. That's kind of nice. Who are we to say how the gods should speak to us? We should be open to all signs. Forbid it. Divinations outside the officially sanctioned means are pure superstition and must be forbidden. Would move towards tradition. Fanatical on 3 cities for 10 turns, +25% faith production. I don't really care about that. And then there's reason, which moves towards progress, which also would cause learning. +5 science for 10 turns. Definitely we are going to go with reason. We must use logic and experimentation to discern the true methods of divination. Confirm. That will help us out quite a bit, I think. Right, the armies are going to complete their movements. With that, we have another outpost established. Or at least in 3 turns we will have. And these guys, can they move more? No, because creating the outpost would take up all of their movements. These guys, they moved as far as they could because I moved them all the way over there. Now, how is this outpost doing? 6 turns. Or maybe next turn we can buy out the production of the horses. But we'll see. What is this? World deed locked. Okay. I don't know what that world deed was. Let's see, the outpost is finished. Nice. And the wheel has been researched. So now we have roads. We even have a little bridge over the river here. And these roads extend all the way. 2 little rivers over here. Let's turn this off. Look at that. That is super pretty, isn't it? We got the river in the valley, or the road in the river valley, I guess. Yeah, these roads look nice. And then we also have a road going up here. It's not a mess like you sometimes see in Civilization 6, which is kind of cool. Alright, world deeds. Lots of world deeds are being unlocked. Now, what are the world deeds, I wonder? Competitive deeds. Build to last. Build a wonder. Ah, okay. So these are also things we can go for. I wasn't sure what these were. So smorgasbord. Get access to every strategic and luxury resource. Build to last. Build a wonder. Puppet master. Become liege over a vassal empire. Train spotter. Build a railway line between 2 cities. We're not going to manage that one. Continental rise. Conquer each continent. A cultured land. Spread your cultural influence throughout an entire continent. Ptolemy. So these are big, man. And we could go for sacred ground. Build a holy site. Oh, I see. Map each continent. This one is blocked, I guess. This deed has not been completed yet. Ah, okay, I see. Lunar landing project pioneer. Planetary observation. Nuclear weapons test. Bring the heat. Own a nuclear weapon. Symposium pioneer. Pressing matters. Terra incognita. Set foot on an uninhabited continent. Oh, that's cool. Discover the research institute. 80 days. Circumnavigate the world. And no stone unturned. Discover 100% of the world. But only one person could do any of these. So that's something we'd have to rush forwards. Now what else is here? Competitive Spirit Era Star. This catch-up category will passively grant you Era Stars until you unlock the next era. It is triggered once another empire reaches the next era. Era Stars will unlock faster as more empires reach the next era. Okay, so nobody will stay behind too much, I guess. And we have another offer.
I have something here.
Trade everything with the Mycenaeans. Sure. we will keep these guys friendly. We don't have crises with them.
Glorious.
Now we could
Yes.
trade some
This
things
calls
here.
for celebration.
We only have 1 saffron. We don't have horses or copper available, which are strategic resources, by the way. We could buy horses from them, but we will pretty soon have them of our own. So none of these are things I really want or need. Alright, so these guys, I'm assuming, can move. Yes. Alright, so let us explore a little bit more. Alright, so we have to go down here. These guys can continue moving. So this is enemy territory, or at least it's an outpost. And the outposts, I guess, are open borders, because you can see the staggered line. We also have the closed borders, which are these guys. So they cannot enter here unless we give them permission to do so, I guess. Right, next turn we will have a lot of things opening up to us. That is nice. Lots of more production to do. Now, organized warfare, hydrology, trade expeditions, and standing army. However, we could also go to the technology screen and have a look what else is there. So craftsmanship is locked behind some other things like trade expeditions, artisan workshop, charcoal kiln, philosophy. Ooh, the research quarter, yes. So writing, philosophy. We want to have the research quarter. That is going to be our forte as this civilization. At least until we reach the next era, we might pick something else that builds on top of this. Now we want to keep building. We're not going to convert industry and money to science. That would be very powerful because it would give us a lot of technologies. Very quickly, in fact. But it would stop the progress of everything else. We don't want that. So, competitive spirit era star. An extra era star category has appeared, meaning that at least one of your opponents has left your current era. Oh, the Maya. Interesting. Hey, why is this not finished? It's just a bit more. We could spend that money. Fuck it. We're going for it. That gives us an era star, a new achievement for your culture. Alright, awesome. Alright, so that gave us the Maker's Quarter here. Industry is now up to 26. Now we have shared projects. We have stone rings that we could build. And the shared projects are actually interesting in that every city around us can contribute their production towards it. And if we do this, we would have plus 25, plus 20 stability. Now we're doing well in stability. I don't care much about the religion. So something else would be in order. Now food, plentiful. We have 32 food. So maybe something else would benefit our production. Pottery workshop. Oh, the influence bonuses seem nice as well. Lumber yard, because now we have access to the lumber stuff. Actually, yeah, let's go for the lumber yard. That's a good one. And now we have Kiss, which has finished the obsidian deposit. Oh, and they have very low stability. We cannot build any more districts. That is interesting. So they could actually go for the shared project, and that will give them some stability. We could also go for the public fountain. This would be quicker, and I think we want to keep focus on getting copper, so yeah, we're going to go for the public fountain there. One more turn and the horse ranch will be finished. And we have the struggle for dominion. Capital is the empire's true seat of power, but now other cities with energetic populaces rise to prominence. Their leaders and other influential figures want sway over the empire's affairs, and the question of who wields power must be answered. Right, so we have a new leadership thing unlocked, but we still don't have a civic point to spend on this. But this will give us administrator count, so I think we would pick that one over founding myths, because that would just give us influence or faith on the main plaza or on the holy site. Now that is also very nice, but I want to build up more cities. Oh, wrong button. So our armies will complete their movement. These guys are completely out. The other guys, however, they should have some left. Yes, indeed.
Come over here. Follow me.
Right, so we have an outpost in this territory now as well.
Yes.
Nomadic tribe. Interesting. Do these guys still not have access to the next era? Oh, that could be interesting. Because we will be more advanced than them. That might mean we could go to war with them, maybe, and defeat them pretty easily. Which would be very cool. Empire unknown, culture chosen, the Nubians. Alright. Era star is unlocked, so we are slowly growing as well. We need 3 more, however. Let's have a look. Competitive spirit era star. Yeah, this one. Next era star in 15 turns. Alright. Now what else we have going on for us? The agrarian star, 20 population. We need 5 more technologies, and we will get another era star for that. Up to the maximum of 3. We could save up more influence. That seems good. Gives us an era star. Builder stars, districts, we would need 6 more. Because we already got that one. The first one, anyway. Military stars. Oh yes, we could go to war a bit more.
Right.
Oh, look at that, they have copper here as well.
Over here. Over this way.
What is that? Coastal water, coral reef. Interesting, we get science from it as well. +4 science, that is very nice.
Let's do it. Okay.
Alright, how far can we go? 1 more. Let's move over here. This territory is still unclaimed. We have another unclaimed territory that we could claim. A game of prophecy. With the empire thriving, a new game hailing from a foreign land beguiles the population. Everywhere you go, the distinctive game board and pieces catching your eye. Insisting on a public demonstration, you play the game under instruction in your palace court, but the event has a sting in the tail. The game is reckoned to be a form of divination as well as entertainment. Gasps could be heard as the game's prophecy became clear. You are fated to lose everything. What will you do? Silence. If this prophecy spread, the results could be devastating. Every witness should be paid off. It would cost us money, which we don't have. Or it would turn us into the negative, I guess. And this would move us towards authority. We could overlook. Turns towards liberty. Let the people gossip. The prophecy will soon be proved false. And we would have -5 stability for 10 turns. Oh, that would not be good for that city we have up here. And we could heed it. We must listen to the divination and prepare for the worst. Superstitious on Babylon. -2 science. Oh, that is very bad. And it would move us towards tradition, which I also don't really want. So, authority maybe? Or defiance, -5 stability, man. Well, the money, maybe the money, we can silence it, I guess, and we will be in the negative, but next turn that will be fixed. So I don't see that as a huge problem. 2 more turns, 1 more turn for Sipar to finish building the horse ranch. Yep. Alright, and then pretty soon, look at that. That one is finished. We have some viewing, or we can see a bit more of the terrain around it. That is nice. Some more empty territories around here as well. Idle armies are there, so we're just going to keep moving. What is that? Curiosity collected, new knowledge, interesting. I didn't see what that gave us exactly, but that's pretty cool. Always welcome. We have this idle army who can move up here.
Let's go.
And we have an idle city, Sipar. Now has the horse ranch. That gives us some more science. So that is beneficial to us. We could make a harbor here as well, because we're a coastal town. We could get extra food from that as well. And production, it seems. That's nice. A maker's quarter. +12 production. It would cost us some food, but how much food are we producing here? 19. The production bonus is crazy though. Really powerful. +12. Will cost us some food. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. I think that would be excellent. Right, now 1 more turn and let's have a look. We will turn on the flimsy thing. This should all increase, I guess, in Babylon. Acknowledge. Population gain. Attitude changed. Alright. Still hasn't finished. It needs one more turn. It's a bit strange how that works. Alright, we have an idle army.
I'm on it. Yes, sir.
Alright, so they moved. Well, we can move. Alright, interesting. These guys have finally moved up into a city, I guess. Harappa. Ah, yes. Alright, so what do? I think we are going to hook up. We're going to link up again, make this into a bigger, stronger army. Sins of the Father. The birth of writing has permitted word of your great deeds to be recorded and disseminated among your people, but it has also allowed a person's debts to be tallied. In the past, a person's debts died with them. Now they are inherited by their offspring. However, in the new city of Sipar, the political leadership wishes to strike these debts from the record for anyone who makes the city their home. What do you say? A cent would cost us 100 gold, but we get +2 population, and it moves the order axis towards liberty. The population bonus is very nice. We could deny it. Those owed will be happy to hear their interest paying monies are still due. Prosperous on Sipar, +5 money for 10 turns. So $50 over 10 turns in total is okay. Moves economic access towards individualism, or we could go towards progress again. In the interest of fairness, only those with small debts will be given the right to settle. It will give us +1. I think because like the social access towards progress might help us, so I think we're going to do that. This would be very nice, but it would put us in the red for 2 turns at least. 3 turns probably. So we're just going to go ahead and do that, and that will give us another population here who is working on money, which I don't really want. I guess we could use more food. So if we move this one over here. +8 food from farmers. Right, yes. And -12 food from population consumption. Yeah. Right, so that goes pretty well. Now, we've been playing for some time already. We're going to do one more turn because I want to finish these things. And then we can make some choices for that. Trade, a new deal with one of your neighbors. Acknowledge. A civilization of similar stature to your own empire, this newcomer is likely to be an ally or adversary. Ah, now these guys show up.
Let us formalize our mutual appreciation.
The Harappans, Temulin. Alright, so this is actually the face of Quill 18 here. Let's have a look. So they are loyal. Strengths are... they value righteousness and fidelity. They will never betray their words. Once a plan is established, it needs to be followed at all costs, and they are wary. They tend to doubt your intention. You will need to deploy efforts to convince them. They are a warrior and protector. And they are Vaupen. They value garrisons a lot. So they will be very defensive, but they won't go to war very quickly, it seems to me. They want a non-aggression pact. We will sign that, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. These guys are going to link up. And they have some movement left, so they can move up here. And let's see, the cities. Babylon. What do we want? They have a lot of industry by now. We can build things up fairly quickly. We might go for a market quarter. See where we could get some money from. This one is recommended. It would cost us some food, would give +2. Everywhere else it would give +1. This is not very powerful. This would need to be in combination with something else, I guess. But it would give us another trader slot, which, well, it's fine. We don't really need it. Food. 30. Might be beneficial. Look at that. That will cost us some production. I don't really want that. But everywhere else is also not very powerful. What else is there? Internal things we could do. Influence. Influence is nice. Palisade to protect what we have. And it would be cool to see some walls as well. The food market, +1 money on market quarters per adjacent farmers' quarters. That would increase their worth a bit. Public fountain. House of Scribes. Oh, +1 science per researchers. We have 1 researcher. So let's go for the House of Scribes. Because that would help our production of science, of course. Now, as for these guys, they went up. They are unadministered. Oh, yes, we would need a ministry. Oh, 1 more turn we could get an administrator. That would be very good to have. Because that is really bringing down our stability here. So what would we go? What would we go for here? We could also build some units, but I don't know. +5 food, because they were kind of starving here for a bit, I guess. 12 sustenance. Yeah, something to increase the food production would be nice. Fishery, because we're on the river. I guess. Why not? 1 more turn. Civics point gain, that's what we wanted. Knowledge is power. Philosophy is researched. And new grievance available. You may ask for reparations. So that is interesting. I don't know who with. Oh, I see. The Harappans have expanded over here. And we could say something about that, I guess. Right, anyway. Civics. We have a civic point. We will go for the leadership, and that will give us an administrator count. Now, do we want to have the small council? Because we could move towards liberty, I guess, and this would be authority. Small council, a handful of the wisest heads to give good counsel. Or we could go autarch. The absolute will of the leader should not be diluted. This would give us +2% industry and city, food, money, and science, and +10% on the capital of all of these things. And here, +3 on the city and less on the capital. But yeah, so this would be very strong. But I kind of like the freedom as well. And this would get stronger the further down we go as well, I guess. Let's enact this one. Here we get another one. The founding myths. I guess so. Let's go for influence. And this brings us all the way up to this +20% science on city or outpost. That is very nice. I'm going to do this one. Where did that second one come from though? I wonder. Oh, wrong button. Now, as for Chris, assign an administrator. And we have another one left over, it seems. +5 science from the packing of poultry for 5 more turns. Alright, so we have 1 more available to us. We could build up another territory into a city. Now we only have these 5 actually, sorry. But I would say probably this would be the better one, because we have a strategic resource here. We don't have that in this territory. Actually, we have an unexplored bit of territory here. We need to know more about that. Actually, let's go through here. And in this one, we're going to build up into a city. And we could buy that out. Instead of waiting for 15 turns, we could buy this out for 148. You know what? 2 more turns. We can do that before, because otherwise I might forget. This is already turning into a fun game. Alright, standing army. With that we could get city watch and swordsman. Now this is not a unit. This is a thing you can build inside the city. Hydrology, artificial reservoirs, +2 food and rivers. Water mill. That's nice. Aqueduct. Also seems nice. +20 stability. Yeah, let's go for hydrology. Let's end this turn. Oh, and we had 1 production here. We have enough money now to buy out the creation of this city. So we are going to go ahead and do that. The city of Acknowledge. Error star unlocked. Nice, we're getting closer. We definitely need to get closer. Now, how are we doing on food? It's plentiful, it's 21. We have industry here, so we could maybe increase that. +2 here, +2 there, +2 here. None of this is particularly great. What about food? It's also not particularly great. The research quarter, +5 here for some reason. I guess because we're adjacent to the horses. But we want to grow, we want to be stronger and better. So production, +2. I guess we could build it up here. And that we could get some different things here from production, maybe. Expand it in some ways, I guess. Alright, the army is going to complete its movements. We now have 4 cities, and this one should be administered. Yes, indeed. Alright, awesome. So that's it for this episode, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like and a comment below if you enjoyed this content and wish to see more. And I will see you guys for whatever video I do next.